Everyone, it's Michael here, and I'm on the road again. I'm actually in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and here are the Smoky Mountains. So I actually just got my 1 year anniversary, 10,000 bonus miles from Capital One for having their Venture X car. Now it's time for evaluation. And for this video, we're going to talk about should I keep it, downgrade it, or cancel it. Because we have to determine if this car still has value for that $395 annual fee. I just want to let everyone know that this card for the Venture X has the highest annual fee in all my credit cards I currently own right now. So I'm not going to do a full-blown review on all the perks and benefits of this card. It is a widely known card in the credit card community, but I am going to talk about the perks and value that I got from those perks. So one thing I don't mention basically means I didn't have any use for it, so basically it's kind of dead to me really. So let's start. Last year I applied for this card and I got approved. My welcome offer was 75,000 miles for 4,000 spent in 3 months. As you know, that's a good offer. It's actually a little above average compared to the other credit card issuers. Of course, it's sad to hear that there was an elevated offer of 90,000 recently for the same spend, same amount of time. So, oh well, at least you still got the bonus. You're still using the points. Anyway, multiplier-wise, it's coded as a 2x travel or luxury travel catch-all card. I have good use for it. I've used it for things that I would get in 1x multiplier, such as taxes or some type of medical bills or whatnot. So it has its uses. So not bad there. Let's talk about the 10x multiplier on car rentals and hotels. Well, I've used one of the perks, which is the 10x on car rentals, and I can say that I just get the 10x multiplier, which is not bad actually. In regard for using the benefits of a car rental program, I tried, because when you're a Venture X holder, you get that Hertz President's Circle benefit, but using that Capital One portal, I realized you don't get the double dipping. You only get the multiplier, and kind of sucks. But even as I talk in the next segment about the President's Circle, it's not that great anyway. But in regard for car rental versus rideshare, depending on my trips, I choose one or the other based on financial needs and how much I travel. So I don't always choose the car to rent a car. Sometimes if I don't really drive out and about, I will use rideshare such as Uber or Lyft. Okay, so let's talk about the 5x on travel through the Capital One portal. And I find this benefit very beneficial as I've used this on many trips. And actually recently when I flew back from New York to Atlanta, I actually took a Delta flight and I booked it through the Capital One portal. Not only did I get the 5x multiplier, I also got the Delta Sky Miles attached to it for a main cabin one flight. And I have my example here, and people say you don't get the loyalty points. Well, you do, even if you book it through a travel portal. So that's awesome to hear and a good perk, really. 5x and loyalty points, I'll take that any day. Now, one note I want to make is because Capital One partnered with Hopper in regard for the price increases and track pricing, I actually got a $20 credit back into my account recently when I booked a flight from Spain to Zurich. So it's another perk of booking through the Capital One travel portal. Alright, so we've heard news about that $300 annual travel credit, and I'm not going to go into ad nauseum about it, but yeah, it's been devalued. But it still has great value. $300 to use for travel. I just got it now. It's great. You know, unfortunately, it has been devalued lately because of the fact that you now don't get it as a multiplier when you use it, and it basically has to be used as or activate as a token when you check out. So meaning that if you forgot to activate it when you check out, you won't get actually the travel credit, and also you don't get that multiplier, but still a great perk overall. So let's talk about the anniversary bonus. As I mentioned, 10,000 miles. It's equivalent to about $100, but I find it more valuable, and it's a good perk because when you use it for travel partners such as here, I found a flight through Virgin Atlantic where you can get a international trip basically from the US to, I believe, the UK for 10,000 Virgin Atlantic miles, which is a transfer partner of Capital One. The value of that trip, about $500-$600, of course, tax and fees. And if you do a cents per point value, it's around 4 cents per point. So you're getting great value for the 10,000 miles as long as you can convert to travel partners for Capital One. The $100 global entry TSA pre-check. I haven't used this for the Capital One personally because I used mine previously on the CSR, which I've downgraded since. But I probably will plan on using it as my global entry is going to be up in the next year or two. But it's still a great perk. I've used it for global entry for international. You save so much time, so much hassle, especially when you come back to the US. It's a great perk. Time is money and it's valuable. As regards for global entry for domestic, because it acts as TSA PreCheck, if anyone has used TSA PreCheck, it's unbelievable because You save time, you go through a separate line, and you have to take off your shoes, and you have to take off your electronics out of your book bag, which for me as a remote worker, it's a big deal because when I do some remote work trips, I take my personal and work laptops, so I don't have to take out any of those out of my book bag during the TSA pre-screening, which is valuable for me for less inconvenience and just better time overall. So I love that part. As we talk about some perks, I've used the Cultivus Museum perk, and while I did not end up using it after the trial period, which would have been a $440 value, I did use it during the trial period for my trips in Europe, and I got great value. I used it to get a free museum to the Louvre in Paris, France, and I also used it in Madrid, Spain for the Museo del Prado. Sorry if I butchered the name, but overall it's about a $30 to $40 value, and you save so much time. Now I don't know if you can book tickets online, which you probably could, but I was able to pre-order it through Cultivus, and I got the tickets early, and I was able to zip through the museum and waiting lines. So great there on Cultivus, but more on that on why I could be downgrading it feature. So one thing that's also about the Capital One Venture X card is their own lounges. Obviously the one in DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth, and now obviously in Washington Dulles. I had the opportunity to be in DFW lounge twice already, last year and then recently. It's a great lounge, very premium lounge. I'm gonna do a full video coming up soon and show you all the perks I went through: the food, the shower, the meditation room, the study room. It's very good. The food is much better than a Priority Pass lounge, above and beyond. And while I've never been to a Centurion lounge, I think it's the same or on par. But please let me know in the comments below and let me know what you think in regard for the Capital lounges versus the American Express lounges. I'd really like to know, honestly. As for Delta Sky Club, I've been there in Atlanta. It's not that great, at least when I went for lunch. So I'm not going to really compare it, but it could be better in other airports, which is kind of sad for Atlanta since Delta is the hub. All right, the best bit of this segment now is why should I cancel or downgrade it? Let's start with number one. Further possible devaluations of this card. So as we know in the last, basically 2023, we found out, one, Priority Pass restaurants have been taken from Capital One for Priority Pass lounge card holders. That's kind of a bummer, even though I didn't really use it, but having the option there is always nice. Second, the fact that the $300 travel card has been devalued. Now it's a token and you lose the multiplier. While you still get the credit annually, you have to basically physically use it. No, that kind of is not good at all. Other devaluation is the Cultivus Museum, which I mentioned that when I went, and hearing from the Discord here, from one of the credit card communities, that the list was basically chopped 30-40% from about 1 to 2 months. Because basically, the example was the Museo Nacional del Prado. I went in April. I found out when I talked to someone in Discord that by June or July, it was off the list. And upon checking on the list, you can see a bunch of museums taken off that list from basically a 1 to 2 month span. So they're really finding ways to quietly devalue the perk of Cultivus. So another reason why. So perks for Capital One Venture X are slowly degrading and could more to come as you're getting outstanding value for a $395 annual fee, and that's what I'm afraid of. So number two, hotel transfer partners. I know people don't talk about this a lot, but because I'm a Hyatt loyalist and I use Hilton on the side, having only Choice and Wyndham, which hotels I don't use, is kind of a bummer, and I feel like Capital One need to step up their game and getting at least another premium hotel transfer partner such as Hilton or Marriott or Hyatt or someone else, or even IHG. And because of that, it's hard for me to justify. While I may not actually transfer points, you have to give me that option in the future or currently, and I don't. And so that's just for me, because I'm team hotel versus team Airbnb or Vrbo, I like that option, and if I can't find value for that, then it's definitely a consideration to downgrade or cancel. And lastly, let's talk about the third and final reason, and probably one of the most important reasons why this could be a downgrade or cancel. So recently when I opened my business this year in May, I also applied for the American Express Blue Business Plus card, and I got approved. If anyone knows about this card, well, it's a 2x catch-all card for American Express. And the biggest thing about it, two biggest things actually, one is that it has no annual fee, which means I save a lot of money on that part. And then second, it has access to American Express's transfer partners, which means I can get the full value and the best part of what American Express offers for no annual fee. And that's a big thing in regards for what I want to keep in my credit card lineup. While the Blue Business Plus does not have lounge access, I currently have the American Express Hilton Surpass card, which gives me a certain amount of Priority Pass lounges per year, and that right now can suffice for my travel needs. And also because I've been taking a lot of luxury travel in the last year, lounges aren't really an issue for me, because if you have a business or first class ticket, you already get a lounge access by default because of the ticket in general. So that's not an issue. It's more of domestic travel, which whether you want to see a lounge or not, that's up to you, but I don't really consider it that big of a deal. So I'm basically done with my bid. I want to know, based on the reasons what I provided about the Capital One Venture X, what do you think about what I said? Do you think I should cancel, keep it, downgrade it? Please let me know in your comments below what you all think, because it's hard, because I have two 2X cars, and while maybe our roadmap has slightly deviated from its path, or it was something happened, but I always plan on having a business for YouTube and travel, and so that was always my plan. And I definitely love the Blue Business Plus, and because it's a $0 annual fee card, I'm definitely not canceling, especially with the value it brings and being the Amex Express ecosystem. So please let me know what you all think. I'm happy to hear your thoughts, and we'll see what goes forward. Sometimes maybe it's best to have two cards, but maybe it's not. So in regard for that, but like I said, if you guys have stayed till the end of this video, and if you've enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and share this going forward. I appreciate everyone joining and listening, and once again supporting my channel. As I say in all my videos, life is short, travel more, everyone. Goodbye, everyone, and please hear the sounds of the crowd from Gatlinburg, Tennessee as I depart. See you, everyone. Have a good day.
Wait.